Hi there, welcome to Just Business, the show here on DarkBad TV, in which we discuss the state of the video games industry. My name is Indigo, and this week we're finally seeing the return of the king of game companies, as in Nintendo. Yeah! Good evening everybody, welcome to the show. My name is Indigo, and last Thursday we had Nintendo do their first ever Nintendo Direct since the passing of their former CEO Satoru Iwata. And people have been questioning since then, like, what's gonna happen to Nintendo now? Also, what's gonna happen to Nintendo Direct? Now, for those who are not aware, Nintendo Direct is a pre-recorded style of press conference that Nintendo have been doing a few times every year. But since his passing, people have been asking, like, are they gonna continue with that? Because it was kind of his thing. And also, Nintendo in general has been kind of shaky recently, with the Wii U being their biggest flop of all time, not counting Virtual Boy, and has there been any bigger flop? I don't think so. This year, Wii U was supposed to have 3 major titles coming out that would be first party, which would be Super Mario Maker, that pretty much nobody really hyped on beforehand, but there will also be the new Legend of Zelda for the Wii U that looked great, and also Star Fox Zero, which looked pretty cool, I guess. Both Star Fox and Zelda were delayed till 2016, and those games are still not out, but Mario Maker is, however, and people like that one. But with this in mind, is it weird that people have been questioning Nintendo's alleged future? No, I don't think so. Going into this Nintendo Direct this past Thursday, I was kinda nervous, and I suppose many of the people who watched it were, because what was gonna happen? Like, was Nintendo just gonna keep being Nintendo, like the recent Nintendo, or were they actually gonna redeem themselves? And fact of the matter is, I actually think that they did a pretty good job at redeeming themselves, because for the first time in a long time, I felt sincerity, or rather, I felt sincere passion coming out of them. Now, despite Satoru Iwata sadly not being with them anymore, and by extension not hosting the Nintendo Direct anymore, I still think they did a fantastic job. They still kept their weird humor, they still had a kind of weird energy that Satoru Iwata used to bring to the company, and I'm just happy to see that even despite him not being with them anymore, that they can still maintain that, I mean, to some extent, and still keep moving forward and still keep doing what Nintendo used to do that made him great, like many years ago. Nintendo still did not mention anything about their upcoming video game console, the codename Nintendo NX, but they previously said that they're not gonna talk about it anymore until 2016. Honestly, I think most of us know that they're gonna announce the Nintendo NX in the start of 2016, or, well, it is already announced technically. But it's very likely that the console is actually gonna be released in the fall of 2016, and if that actually happens, for a price that's not too high, and the machine is actually powerful, and actually has some games compared to the Wii U, sadly, I'm feeling good about Nintendo, in a way that I have not felt since the GameCube, which in itself was kind of a flop. I do think that Nintendo still got a fighting chance, despite the PS4 kicking fucking ass, and even the Xbox One starting to kick moderate ass. If Nintendo keeps up this energy and this passion that they clearly had during this Nintendo Direct, and also manage to deliver a new video game console in the form of Nintendo NX, that is actually something worth talking about to some extent. I actually believe, or at least I want to believe, that Nintendo are gonna come back stronger than ever, because honestly, they already are. They are coming back. This is them coming back. Like, if you watch this Nintendo Direct, that was them coming back, and they did a fantastic job. So with this said, am I gonna get a Wii U now? But am I gonna get a Nintendo NX? Maybe. Possibly. Probably. It depends on the machine. But I'm cautiously optimistic towards Nintendo and their upcoming console. So please, Nintendo, do not fuck this up. Please. And that's gonna be the show for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I am genuinely looking forward to seeing what Nintendo will bring to the table in the coming future, especially in 2016, because there's so much promise. Like, they could really steal the show if they do things right. So let's just hope they do, and let's all get a Nintendo NX if that actually happens. If you want to hear more about the Nintendo Direct that took place, we actually talked quite a bit of it on the latest DarkBad Time, our podcast that is available here on youtube.com/darkbadtv, which is now our URL, and also on our podcast itself, available on iTunes and podcast services. So if you want to hear us rant for an hour about Nintendo and games in general, go listen to the podcast or subscribe to it on iTunes and listen in your phone. We also had a special guest this episode, our friend Patrik of the band Batar, a Swedish rock band. He joined us and talked about stuff, and it was a pretty good show, so go have a listen to that. Till next time, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to DarkBad TV, and remember, nothing personal, it's just business. See you next week. DarkBad TV. Oh, DarkBad TV. Yeah. honestly, I'm just pumped to finally have youtube.com/darkbadtv as our official URL. So go spread the word, and also go, I don't know, go be nice, because we try to be. Check out some of our other videos. As I mentioned, our latest episode of DarkBad Time, our podcast right here, there somewhere, is out now, and it's pretty cool. Like I said, we had a special guest in this episode, and it's probably our best podcast so far. So go listen to that. Or if you wanna try something entirely different, I just finished playing a game called Broken Age, which is probably one of my favorite games of recent years, and Kitcha did a video on that game a few days ago. So go check that one out as well. I do highly recommend both the video and the game, especially the game. No offense, Kitcha. Oh well.